K-Cal rocks it. It's Patrick in the morning on a special Monday after a big weekend of football. It's sports with our guy Pep. What's up, Pep?
Yo, good morning, man. First full weekend of NFL football did not disappoint, so this Monday morning feels a little bit different than the rest. As we get into the NFL season, man, I don't even know where to start. We saw a little bit of everything in this first full Sunday of NFL football. We'll start with the hometown Rams, man. I hate to bring it up because Patrick, you're a Seattle Seahawks guy. You love your Seahawks. I thought Seattle at home, the Rams. I would say the expectations not too high this season, but they go up into Seattle, man, and they win without Cooper Kupp. Puka Nacua, this receiver out of BYU, this rookie, had a huge debut. Patrick, listen, as a non-biased football fan, I was stunned by how good the Rams looked.
Do you know what I think we kind of forgot about is Stafford's healthy.
Yeah.
And he was throwing darts and threading the needle. And kids, we can learn a lot. Kids out there, I want you to learn a lot from DK Metcalf. You can be the most talented person in the world. But if you let people get you all rattled, you can see even though Jalen Ramsey wasn't there anymore, he gave the Rams the blueprint. If you talk S to him and rattle him up, eventually he will blow his stack and do something stupid. Don't let people get you rattled, kids. You know what I mean? Don't end up like that. You got to ignore them. Poise under noise, they say, right?
Yeah, exactly. And if the other team knows that, that's part of their game plan going in, right? Don't you think to get the other team off their A game, cliche?
Absolutely, man. I mean, I wasn't that good of an athlete. I look for stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. If I know all I got to do is just like talk crazy into this guy's ear and he'll blow his stack, boom, you can win the game.
Yeah, DK Metcalf, man, he should have had a huge game. So I don't know. I was just stunned. That was one of those games this weekend. I'm like, really? Like, really? This is how it went down up there? But yeah, Rams, big opening win, 30-13. Next up, they're going to get the 49ers, who across maybe outside of Sunday Night Football, the Cowboys hammering the Giants. Outside of that game, the 49ers going on the road to Pittsburgh and beating the Steelers 30-7. Brock Purdy's elbow looks just fine. He looks like he picked up exactly where he left off last season. That was a decisive win for the Niners.
Yeah, you have to say, I mean, definitely clicking on all cylinders, my goodness. And then the emergence of Brandon Ayuk, the receiver. Yeah. He's a special superstar, and they haven't even gotten to their other weapons yet. I mean, of course, Christian McCaffrey started going all Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, it's nice to have a receiver coming up like that. And then you still have Debo. There's a lot going on in San Francisco, and you're right. The Q looks like that was a good decision.
Yeah, offensively, when I think of the 49ers' big three, it's Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, and George Kittle, right? And then Brandon Ayuk, don't sleep on him. Like, he's a great receiver. In fact, he's a number one kind of receiver. So he had a huge game, and yeah, they looked very, very impressive against Pittsburgh. So now I'm curious. That Rams versus 49ers game is a little more intriguing now going into next week. Now, Patrick, the other LA team, the Chargers, man. The Chargers really charging on Sunday, like just being a typical Chargers team, looking good, scoring a lot of points, yet still finding a way to lose the ball game at the end. The Miami Dolphins winning behind a huge game from Tua Tagovailoa, their quarterback, and Tyreek Hill, their receiver. They just went off. They could not stop them. It was 36-34 the final.
I know it. It seems like it is a thing with this Charger team, and I think it's going to come down to taking out the head coach because it seems like they just can't quite finish. They need a coach that can get them over the hump. I thought it was going to be Sean Payton if they were going to get rid of him, but that's not what happened. I just have that feeling that the Chargers just can't get over the hump for some reason.
Yeah, they just kind of got that stigma at this point, right? They're always good. And you always got some expectations they're going to make the playoffs or they're going to make a playoff run, and it just never happens. I just feel like this Chargers team is going to be that kind of that cookie cutter. It's going to be the same thing year after year. This year will be the same. But I do want to give a quick shout out to our guy Jalen Phillips, the pride of Redlands East Valley High School. He had a monster game, including the sack on fourth down to end the game to officially put the nail, in the coffin for the Chargers. And man, I know Miami is supposed to be pretty good this year, but when you play at home and you're the Chargers and you have all that talent and you have your big expectations yourself, you need to win those games. You need to defend your home stadium, even though it's not technically yours. You still need to defend it.
Right. And they didn't.
So, yeah, they sure didn't. The other game I wanted to touch on real quick from Sunday, Patrick, was the Raiders. One better than the Denver Broncos in the Mile High City as Jimmy G wins his silver and black debut. Wasn't pretty, but they won 17-16. So a road win is a road win is a road win.
A win is a win is a win. That's true. They went in there and did what they needed to do. Come out with the W.
They did. And for Denver, we were all excited to see this new look offense with Sean Payton and Russell Wilson. And it just kind of was flat, right? If you only score 16 points in your home stadium, that's not a good sign against a Raiders team that's not supposed to be very good.
There's lots of rumors that Sean Payton wants this to blow up.
Oh, so he could just start with a blank canvas, huh?
Right.
Ooh, interesting. Maybe not that they're tanking, but maybe he's like, okay, this isn't the worst thing in the world. Then I have the liberty, the freedom to start over again. So yes. In Denver. And we got one more tonight, and this is highly anticipated, Patrick. Aaron Rodgers will make his regular season Jets debut on Monday Night Football against the Buffalo Bills, and the Bills are the perennial favorite right now in the AFC East. But can Aaron Rodgers dethrone Josh Allen and the Bills on top of that division? It all starts tonight.
How about a little battle of New York here? But you're right, man. We see Aaron Rodgers. We've seen the Hard Knocks. We've seen him see UFO stories and all that stuff. Finally, we see what happens when we put the experiment to the ground. I mean, when you think about it, you know, a lot of players have been developed, and they made the playoffs without a great quarterback. And now they have Aaron Rodgers. Stands to reason they're going to do pretty well. Now we get to find out. They get to play against a pretty tough team.
Yeah, there's Super Bowl expectations now for the Jets, or at least expectations are going to challenge for the division title and get to the playoffs and all that. So I'm excited to see what the starters are going to do against the starters. It's not preseason anymore. So what are they actually going to look like against a real NFL football team? So I'm excited for Monday Night Football tonight to see Aaron Rodgers debut. Patrick, let's talk a little college football real quick. I know you're a Wazoo, a Washington State guy. The Pac-12, man, really holding it down early on in this college football season. There are 8 teams from the Pac-12 currently ranked in the AP Top 25 poll, of course, led by USC. I think they came in at number 5 last night in the latest poll. UCLA's in there. Colorado, Coach Prime is in there, in the Colorado Buffaloes, and Washington State as well, man. Pac-12 strong this year.
It is just wild and funny because within the Pac-12, there's all those rivalries. You know, I went to Washington State. Oh, I hate USC. I hate Oregon. But now it's like I'm so proud of all these teams for doing so well. And I would love it so much, of course, if we could do some damage before this league dissolves.
Yeah, and it sure looks like it, especially with some early season wins against, Utah beating Florida. That was a great win. Washington State, Wisconsin. So when you beat other Power 5 schools, it kind of means a little more. Yes, we can have a bunch of ranked teams, but if you're going out there and, beating up all these conferences you've never heard of, like you have to look them up. But no, they've got some quality wins, and I think that's why the AP voters are giving them their props, right? Their recognition. They got 8 teams in the top 25. That's a big deal.
I love it, man.
Yeah, and so good news for college football fans here in Southern California as well, with UCLA and USC winning. And finally, Patrick, real quick, we had the U.S. Open tennis tournament in New York. Congrats to Coco Gauff, the 19-year-old American, winning her first major. So hopefully this is the first of many for Coco Gauff on the women's side. And then on the men's side, the GOAT, man, Novak Djokovic, his 24th major championship. And what a cool, classy way to do it after winning the title is number 24. He wore number 24 for the great Kobe Bryant. He was tight with Kobe. They were good friends. So he honored Kobe with his 24th major title.
Man, that is really cool. What a great story. He has just been dominating forever. You hear a lot about him out in the desert, of course, when the tennis garden thing goes off. So congratulations to him and Coco, dude, doing her thing.
Yeah, hopefully the first of many Grand Slam, titles for her in the tennis world. Man, 19 years old.
Yeah, and she survived the hype, and she has delivered the ripe old age in tennis.
Yeah, right.
19 years old.
She's in her prime right now.
Oh, man, I can't wait to talk some more sports with our guy Pep when it comes up to Thursday. Pep, tell me how to get your stuff.
Can't wait. Inland Sports on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Inland Sports on the old YouTube channel. A lot of high school football right now. If you're down with that, check out Inland Sports.
Thanks, Pep.